Right now on Denver 7 News at 6, polls open in about an hour for Denver's runoff election.
I'm Veronica Acosta. There is still time to cast your ballot. What you need to do if you're voting today.
No, you cannot cut people's mics off and silence voices you don't want to hear.
Tense moments at a Denver Public School Board meeting, the group running out of time to come up with a new safety plan for the district.
And how many students are in APS?
38,000.
Yeah. Aurora's school district getting new leadership. I talk with Superintendent Michael Giles, his plans to address school safety and more.
And moving on to Miami, the Nuggets look to regroup for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. We're hearing from one player who's ready for the change of scenery.
They got the shades ready for Miami.
I know, yeah, trading in the mountains for the beach, although Miami's forecast
is just a stormy.
It's just a stormy, yeah, they got more rain.
You'll be catching a flight here pretty soon.
I will, yes, and I'm headed to cover the Nuggets there for Game 3 and 4 Wednesday and Friday, and hope to give you a little preview of Miami while I'm there, but can't escape the rain anywhere right now.
Yeah, I think it's following you, actually.
Maybe.
When you come back, can you bring some sunshine? That'd be nice. Yeah, lots of rain out there, and we've seen more of those afternoon storms each and every day. In fact, we had some pictures coming in from our viewers, right?
Yeah, Emily Alice took this video of her walking through those flood waters at 17th and Penn in Denver. We also got video from a viewer in Wheat Ridge, Betty Scaflin. Got a little hail there. So small hail, fortunately, not too much damage, but just a lot of water on the streets. Even caused some problems for drivers in Arvada, where we saw a rescue. Firefighters had to use a raft to rescue people.
You don't know what's under that water. Yeah, don't drive through it. Yeah, be careful. And that is going to be one of the biggest challenges today. The risk of the large hail, the damaging winds, that's going to be pretty low, but we could see some areas again of heavy rain. This morning, though, this is what you're going to be dealing with, the exact opposite. Lots of sunshine for that eastbound drive. That's a view from our Westminster camera pointed off to the eastern plains. We're in the 50s right now. We'll see some low to upper 60s here between about 10 and 11 o'clock. It will be a little warmer today, expecting some mid to upper 70s later on today through early afternoon. Denver at around 77, closer to 80 near Greeley and Sterling and across parts of southeastern Colorado. Most of those storms and showers are going to get going first in the mountains and foothills, and then we'll see a few roll east. So it's going to be pretty unsettled all week long, although the risk of severe weather, again, will be pretty low for us. Heavy rain, the biggest threat. We'll take a closer look at Futurecast, Jason, and that hour by hour with those storms developing today coming up.
And looking at a pretty decent ride around town right now with lots of sun glare for you here this morning. This is out to the east side of town. Air Tracker 7 right now flying just about over Sapp Brothers, which is right there. You can see the sign. This is the eastbound side of 270 joining I-70 heading out to the east side of town through Central Park. This is the westbound side of 270. Getting a little bit busier out there, but overall it's not too bad as you make your way out to that east side of town. So starting to see a little bit more traffic here and there, including across C470, be one of the areas that will be affected by that very bright sunshine. Had a restriction on Havana near Mississippi. That's all picked up and moved out of the way, and not seeing any big problems out here, at least on I-70. 47th and Peoria, they're reporting a possible semi-crash of some sort. So Air Tracker 7 will eventually get out that way and take a look for us. But the rest of the drive, as you can see, looks okay, including tour from the airport right now.
Well, if you haven't already, it is time to get out and vote in Denver. Today is the runoff election for Denver mayor and also city council offices.
The city will get a new mayor for the first time in 12 years. We heard from the two candidates, Kelly Bruff and Mike Johnston, ahead of the election day today.
This election is so important. I do believe our city's at a crossroads where we either continue on the path we're on or we turn, and we house and shelter those who are most vulnerable.
This is a decision that's going to drive the next generation of where this city goes, and I think we need a leader who both has a big vision for what's possible, has a sense of optimism and hope, and can really bring people together to take on these tough problems.
So Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is at the Denver Elections Division office this morning, where you still have time to cast your ballot. In fact, polls open here in about an hour, Veronica.
They do open in just about an hour, Brian. The other piece of really important information that I want to point out this morning is that if for some reason you didn't get around to actually mailing your ballot, don't do that now because it is just too late. Instead, you'll have to drop it off at one of those ballot drop-off boxes. So important to note that those polling locations, they open in an hour at 7 this morning and they close at 7 p.m. tonight. So as long as you're in line at that polling location by 7 p.m., you will be able to cast your vote and your vote will be counted. Now, registering to vote is even an option today if you haven't done that, but you're wanting to vote in this election. If you don't know where to go to cast your ballot, here's where you can find out. Take a listen.
The primary place that folks should look is right there in their ballot. They've got instructions that have all of the different locations for both the drop boxes and the vote centers right there with their ballot. But if for whatever reason they've misplaced the information booklet that or the information page that comes with their ballot, they can always check online at denvervotes.org/voterinfo.
And those unofficial results, those will start rolling in right around 7 p.m. tonight. Once those polling locations start closing up, they will come about every hour and a half, you guys. So that's something we have to look forward to as the night goes on. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver7.
All right, we'll see if the results are all tallied by the end of the night. Thank you, Veronica. Both mayoral candidates said homelessness will be a top priority for their administration. And just last night, City Council voted to make safe outdoor spaces permanent. Those safe outdoor spaces provide city-sanctioned tents and parking spots with support services for people experiencing homelessness. The program started during the pandemic. Some say it's helping people, but others say these sites lead to more problems.
The core issue is drug addiction and mental illness. And there's very little accountability from the organizations that run the SOS sites.
It's a permanent option for people to temporarily use as they move up the spectrum of homelessness into housing.
Mayor Michael Hancock still needs to sign the bill to make those safe outdoor spaces permanent.
And we know homelessness is just one key issue in this city election, but we want to know which issue is most important to you for the next Denver mayor to address. You can vote now at denver7.com/vote now. You can also scan the QR code at the top of your screen there. We'll be checking in with the results, but right now crime almost doubles the response of affordability and homelessness, and transportation also checking in at 11% there. We also want you to have all the information you need about the mayoral candidates before you cast your vote. So we have a voter guide right now on our website where we ask the candidates some important questions. You can find the guide at denver7.com/denvermayor.
Aurora is also about to get a change in leadership, not for the city, but for the Aurora Public School District. Michael Giles was recently named the new superintendent. It is the first change at the top for APS in almost a decade. So I had a chance to talk with Giles. He's not coming from far away. He's lived in Aurora for 25 years, spending the last 21 years in Cherry Creek schools. His most recent role focused on equity and community engagement. And he started his career as a counselor and even spent time working with youth in the corrections system. So I wanted to talk to him about his thoughts on mental health and school safety. He told me he hopes to convene a task force with counselors, deans, security, and building leaders.
And the purpose of bringing everyone together is to wrap our arms around what does it mean to create a safe learning environment for our students, physical safety as well as emotional, psychological well-being. And they all play together. I don't think any one trumps the other.
Have you worked with kids who have gotten into some trouble and have struggled maybe in that school environment?
Absolutely, absolutely. And for many different reasons. I mean, you know, it could be something that a child is going through at the moment. It could be a child not necessarily feeling fully engaged because they're either not seeing themselves in the curriculum or seeing opportunities for themselves. There are a myriad of reasons why sometimes students make choices that do not lend themselves well to succeeding in schools.
So Giles told me he supports school resource officers and the district's partnership with Aurora Police. I also asked him about his equity work, which was his focus in Cherry Creek, and he's now moving to a district where the large majority of students are students of color and immigrant families.
I can't tell you how moving it is when they say that they feel empowered, they feel seen, they feel like they have some agency in their own experience now, and that's exactly what we want for our students. I would offer also some of the work that we've done with parents in the community, bringing parents in and giving them a voice and asking, what is your experience with our institution? What's working for you? What is not? How can we better serve you? How can we better help you support your students also?
So I wanted to let you hear directly from him. We'll post more of his answers to my questions on denver7.com. Worth noting here, Michael Giles will be the second highest paid superintendent in the Denver Metro. The board approved a $285,000 annual salary. Recently, Denver Public School Superintendent Alex Marrero and Jeffco Schools Tracy Dorland also both received raises.
The Denver Public School Board did not make a decision last night on the future of school resource officers, but a public comment session at the meeting turned into a shouting match several times last night. Board members Aonte Anderson and Michelle Quattlebaum had their mics temporarily cut off after speaking without recognition. Both were concerned officers in schools will negatively impact students of color.
Quattlebaum, you didn't have the floor.
I do want to go back to
Secretary Quattlebaum, you did not have the floor.
I do want to go back
Secretary
to what I mentioned.
Let her speak.
And that is
You did not have the
that
floor.
our black students, by and large, will not share. They do not feel safe speaking their truth.
Interesting, most community members who spoke at the meeting opposed SROs in schools, although survey results from many DPS high schools showed most students and staff members support SROs. The district will release its final long-term safety plan June 23rd, and the board is expected to review it June 30th. The Douglas County School Board will hold a special meeting tonight to address the resignation of one of its members. Elizabeth Hansen stepped down in the middle of a meeting last month. She said politics and ego have become the primary agenda of the board. She also claimed the school board spent money intended for classrooms to defend themselves in lawsuits. The board will accept Hansen's resignation and set a timeline for filling the open position. That meeting starts at 5 p.m.
Well, the race is on for the next occupant of this house, the White House. Our team in Washington is breaking down the latest crop of Republicans to get into the 2024 race.
And what is the problem with pickleball courts? One city wants you to weigh in on the future of this fast-growing sport.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a little warmer today. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s this afternoon. We'll see a few more thunderstorms and showers develop first in the foothills and then roll east over the plains, although our risk of any severe weather today or tomorrow is going to be pretty low, but we could see some areas of heavier rain. Storms likely again Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to stay pretty unsettled through the coming weekend and even cooler by Sunday. In 3, 2, 1. We are in for a bit more rain this week. In fact, some unsettled weather through the coming weekend. Chance of storms and showers each afternoon. Today, we're going to hit highs, though, in the mid to upper 70s with a pretty low risk of any large hail or damaging winds. Storms likely, though, Wednesday and Thursday afternoons. And then as we head into the weekend, a little cooler, close to 70 on Saturday, upper 60s Sunday. In 3, 2, 1. More storms and showers in our forecast. Plenty of sunshine this morning, but we'll see some building clouds and then a chance of storms and potentially some pockets of heavy rain here this afternoon. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s today, a little cooler tomorrow. Storms likely both Wednesday and Thursday, and it gets even cooler this weekend.
Welcome back, 6:15. Denver voters will choose their next mayor and some city council seats today.
Meanwhile, the 2024 presidential race is already getting started with more candidates joining. Scripps News national political editor Joe St. George is joining us from the White House this morning. And Joe, we are expecting 3 more Republican candidates to announce soon.
Yeah, a big week politically in Denver, whether you're talking about local politics or national politics. Not 1, not 2, but 3 candidates expected to join the race for president, not just this week, but in the next 24 hours. Today, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie making it official with a town hall in New Hampshire. Former Vice President Mike Pence already filed the paperwork. He's having an official event tomorrow, a kickoff in Iowa. And not to be outdone, the governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, is getting in the race as well. It is becoming quickly a crowded field for president. Although most political analysts, whether you're talking to them in Colorado, whether you're talking to them here in Washington, D.C., they'll tell you for the moment on the Republican side, there are 3 lanes heading toward the Republican National Convention, which will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin next summer. Lane 1, regardless of who enters the race this week, is still primarily occupied by former President Donald Trump. He remains the frontrunner here. Over 30-point lead is what he has when you look at Real Clear Politics, which averages all the polls together. Lane 2, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's been in second place for quite some time. Yes, behind former President Trump, but well above the other candidates. And Lane 3 is the alternative option, the other candidate option. And that's the lane that former Governor Chris Christie joins. Former Vice President Mike Pence joins today. It's the most crowded lane, and it's the lane where debates are really going to matter. Late August is when the first debate is scheduled, August 23rd in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we know now how to qualify for that debate. You'll need to have at least 1% in the polls consistently, as well as received over 40,000 national contributions. So fundraising and polling is how you get to that first debate in Milwaukee on August 23rd. It's still unclear if former President Trump will participate. But here we go. The race to live here come January 2025, shifting into another gear this week.
We'll see which lane prevails. All right.
Feeling like 2016 all over again. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Well, a new study finds Americans are waiting longer to get married. This comes from the Pew Research Center, and it found Americans who tied the knot by the age of 21 dropped from about a third back in 1980 to just 6% in 2021. Getting married by the age of 25 also dropped significantly from 2/3 down to 22%. In 1980, the average American male got married at the age of 25, the average woman at 22. And today, first-time groom is average age of 30, bride 28. Experts say more young people are building their life first on their own before settling down.
But then you got to hurry up and have the babies.
That's
true.
Later
That's
too.
true. Yeah.
It's interesting.
You're never ready for that.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what I would say to my daughter if she came home at 20 and 21 and said,
"Oh,
I'm getting married."
I put the kibosh on even dates until they're
Yeah.
like 20.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
30
Good
and you
luck
can
with that.
date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We've got a nice start to our Tuesday. Now, early on, plenty of sunshine. There will be a few more late day storms, and things are still drying out after some of the rain we had yesterday. 50s here early this morning. We'll be in the upper 60s by about 11 o'clock, and then mid to upper 70s. So pretty good biking forecast here early this morning. Plenty of sunshine early on. Now, we do have a chance of storms, but the risk of the large hail, damaging winds, that risk of severe weather is going to be pretty low for us today. Although we could again see some heavy rain. We had some localized flooding yesterday. Could get a bit of a repeat of that here today. But early this morning, gorgeous start, plenty of sunshine. We're in the 50s right now. A few upper 40s. Arvada, you're at 49, Denver 46. Firestone, Aurora, Centennial, all right around 50 this afternoon. Now, where you see the green, that's where we have a chance for what we would say would be more general thunderstorms. A little rain, lightning, thunder. Again, heavier rain would be the bigger issue with a few of these cells, but that risk of the severe weather is pretty low today. You'll see some building clouds later in the day. Those storms first developing in the mountains, getting to near about 70 degrees by lunchtime, mid to upper 70s for highs between about 3 and 5 o'clock. Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, all right around 75 to near 80 degrees. A little cooler to the south, closer to 70 near Castle Rock. So some of those storms again continuing through early evening. Then clearing out. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be, again, looking at a lot of sunshine for that early Wednesday morning drive. A better chance for more thunderstorms and more showers tomorrow afternoon. That's Wednesday right around 4 o'clock. It's also going to be a little cooler tomorrow, some low to mid 70s. Risk again of the large hail and damaging winds pretty low, but we're going to see some areas of heavier rain again today and through tomorrow. When you look at some of those statewide highs in the mountains, you're going to find mainly 60s today, mid to upper 70s for southeastern Colorado. Pretty toasty on the western slope. Grand Junction 84 this afternoon. We're at 74 Wednesday and then mid 70s Thursday. Chance of storms each afternoon, which means tomorrow night, if you're heading downtown for one of the watch parties, we're going to see your patio forecast, which would be a little wet. Mid 70s by about 5 o'clock. Scattered storms and showers are likely, and we'll see a few lingering storms by about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Saturday and Sunday look to be cooler, upper 60s to low 70s both days, with a chance for more scattered showers in the mountains too. In fact, rain is likely in the high country, Jason, on our hiking forecast, with low 60s Saturday and then a few afternoon thunderstorms, both in the mountains and again here in town on Sunday.
Last night, Audra, this viewer of ours, Audra, she contacted me and said, hey, the lights are flashing over here, and they have been for a couple of days over here at Fitzsimmons and 8th and 17th.
Well, thanks, Audra.
Well, so what I do is I send the helicopter over there and I say, figure it out, and let's go look from Air Tracker 7 right now, and you can see that the lights are definitely flashing. So this is 17th coming to Fitzsimmons right by the VA hospital, and that's where she works. And you can see that we do have some workers over here trying to fix it, but the lights are definitely flashing. So it means that it's a four-way stop here if you're going to be heading west into the VA, getting out of the VA or going around it. So, and it doesn't look like it's a flashing here on the railroad and also on the lights there at Fitzsimmons as well. So hopefully they're going to get that fixed. It looks like they're trying to work on it right now. But that's the major thing going on in Aurora right now. That's about the only thing going on in Aurora right now. No big other issues, but the heavier traffic on 270, on I-25 up north, and that east side getting a little bit busier, as well as the west side going east into all that sunshine for you here this morning.
Paying off E470. Jason will talk with us about the numbers and how much longer we'll be on the hook for those tolls.
And the last drive-in theater in the metro is shutting down. The movies that you can check out this week if you want to experience this pastime one more time. And don't forget to vote in our poll on our website. What should the top priority be for Denver's next mayor? You can vote by scanning the QR code at the top of your screen there, or go to denver7.com/vote now.
Welcome back, 626 right now. We've told you how cities like Denver and Centennial have hit the brakes on new pickleball courts. Centennial now wants your thoughts on the future of the sport. That city, as we've told you, is in the middle of a 6-month pause on building any new courts within 500 feet of neighborhoods. While the sport has grown in popularity, some have complained about the sound the rackets make when they hit those balls. You can share your comments in a survey right now on the City of Centennial's website. That's centennialco.gov.
The last drive-in movie theater in the metro will close at the end of the year. The 88 Drive-In in Commerce City has been showing movies since 1976. City Council will vote next month to rezone the area for a warehouse. The owner told Council operating expenses, the pandemic, and nearby noise have all impacted her business. But if you want to catch a movie there one more time, the theater is showing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Big George Foreman this Thursday. Tickets are $10 and only available at the box office.
Well, we're over a week into summer break for most kids, so tell them to pick up a book already. The prizes they can win if they do.
And it's election day again in Denver. Polls open here in about a half hour. What you need to know if you still want to cast your ballot. Well, more thunderstorms are in our forecast for today after a wild weather afternoon yesterday. The rain came pouring down, and take a look at some of these photos. This is from MLK Boulevard at Dahlia Street in Denver's Park Hill neighborhood, where firefighters had to help people out of their cars. And this was along 58th Avenue where Arvada Fire had to use a raft to rescue 5 people. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but a scary situation, and it happens fast.
And the forecast is looking a little bit better today, Lisa.
Little.
Started out nice yesterday.
Beautiful again today. It's also fast, but it's also random. I mean, it could be 5 miles away from there, and they're going to have mainly dry roads. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be in the same place every day, but we are looking at a chance for more rain today. Beautiful though this morning. Lots of sunshine, 40s and 50s early on. We're already at almost 2 inches of rain officially here in Denver for the month of June, and coming off of now the 4th wettest May ever on record. We'll talk more about those numbers coming up, but here's a look at the air quality warning. We do have, unfortunately, an ozone action day alert in place until at least 4 o'clock this afternoon. So it is going to be unhealthy for some sensitive groups. If you are out for a walk today, we'll get to near about 70 degrees by noon, mid to upper 70s for highs today, with those storms developing likely around 2 to about 3 o'clock, first in the mountains. It does look to be fewer storms today, but tomorrow's storms are likely. We're going to take a closer look at the hour by hour. Today, mid to upper 70s, closer to 80, Jason, across parts of northeastern Colorado, 60s for the mountains.
And just like you, lots of sunshine. That's plenty of it here for us on this morning's drive. It's already getting heavy on 270. You can see I-76 slowing down a little bit on 225 and up to the north side on I-25. We can see that on the map as well, some of the hot spots that we usually see, some of that slow traffic. We do also have this traffic signal issue over here by the VA. Take a look from the earlier Air Tracker 7. The lights are flashing not only at the traffic signal lights, but also the rail signal lights are also flashing red. So everybody's treating this as a 4-way stop right over there by hospital. So minimal delays at this point, but obviously it's an inconvenience for those folks trying to get into or out of work over there at the hospital. Seeing some busier areas here across that north side. Very typical stuff all the way around town this morning.
Denver, you have a big decision today. Voters are deciding between Kelly Brough and Mike Johnston for Denver's next mayor, the first change in leadership in 12 years. So we want to make it as easy a decision as possible. Right now on Denver7.com, you'll find this voter guide, which includes the candidates' responses on big issues like housing, homelessness, childcare, affordability in Denver. And once you've brushed up on the candidates, of course, you need to cast that ballot. Denver7's Veronica Costa is joining us now from the Denver Elections Office, where the polls open in the next 30 minutes, Veronica.
Just about 30 minutes now left to go, and so many people have already cast their ballots. They mailed them in, but if you didn't get that chance, then today is the opportunity to do so. So the polls open up at 7 this morning, and you have the chance to go ahead and cast your vote up until 7 p.m. tonight. Important to remember that as long as you are in line at your polling site by 7 p.m., then you'll be able to cast that vote anytime after 7 p.m. Then unfortunately you won't be able to. You can also always drop off your ballot. That's always an option for you too. Now, if you're unsure about where to go to vote, the City of Denver's website has a map with some voting centers and ballot drop-off boxes for you. Now, the spot where we are this morning, the Denver Elections Division Office, it's special because it's where those ballots all come to get counted. Listen to what all happens here.
We're going to get the ballots in throughout the day. They're going to go through an initial sort. They're going to get prepared to make sure that they can be tabulated. There's various steps, including signature verification, adjudication, to make sure that the selections that voters have are indeed what they intend.
And those unofficial results, those will start coming out right about 7 p.m. and then they'll be updated every about hour and a half. So we'll have that to look forward to as the evening goes on. In Denver, I'm Veronica Costa, Denver7.
Yeah, and Veronica, the race is expected to be tight. A poll released in mid-April by a bipartisan group showed Johnston and Brough neck and neck, and the results were within the margin of error, suggesting it could be anyone's race. Adding to that, 27% of people polled at the time said they were still undecided.
Both Denver mayor candidates pledged to support more city contracts going to local companies first. The pledge was created by One Main Street Colorado. It's an advocacy group with the mission of expanding the middle class, but they say both Kelly Brough and Mike Johnston signed a pledge to enact best value contracting the first 100 days in office. So instead of simply choosing the lowest bidder for a contract, best value contracting looks at the company's safety record, their quality of work, and if they hire local workers.
Rather than hiring out-of-state companies who bus people in from out of state, pay them a low wage, and then bus them back to their state where they'll spend their paycheck outside Colorado. Best value contracting ensures that we're hiring a local workforce who are going to get paid fair wages and going to spend their paycheck here in our local economy.
One Main Street Colorado says the system will not only help small businesses, but it also provides a living wage so workers can afford to live here. Adams County already uses the best value contracting system.
Yeah, we know affordability is one big issue for Denverites. We're asking you in our poll this morning, what is the most important issue for Denver's next mayor to tackle? You can vote now by scanning the QR code on your screen or go to denver7.com/vote now. Crime and affordability, both ranking high right now among our voters. Stay with Denver 7 for results as they come in and in-depth analysis from our team. We'll hear from the candidates as well throughout the night. You can watch our coverage on air, online, or on the Denver 7 Plus app for your streaming device.
Denver 7 continues to follow up on the city's migrant crisis. Denver officials say fewer people are now arriving here. According to the city's dashboard, 36 migrants arrived in Denver yesterday. For context, more than 3,800 migrants arrived last month, with as many as 500 in one day. More than 900 people are currently in shelters. The city has supported more than 11,000 people since December at a cost of $17 million. The federal government has reimbursed the city less than $1 million of that. The state has reimbursed $3.5 million. E470 opened more than 30 years ago, long time ago, but when will the toll road actually be paid off?
And when will we get to stop paying tolls then? That's the question coming from a viewer, Jason, this morning.
Yeah, it was Jamie from Aurora who was writing to me, and she was asking, all right, what's driving you crazy? When E470 was first built, it was sold as a toll road until the bonds were paid up, excuse me, paid off. It seems E470 continues to expand instead of paying off the bonds. I looked and can't find anything about the road being free in the future. What do you know? Well, I know that I'm going to be long gone before the toll roads are retired on E470. You're correct, Jamie, that E470 was built with bonds. Those original bonds were paid off from a $10 vehicle registration fee imposed on vehicle owners in Douglas, Arapahoe, and Adams counties. Now, that fee was retired in 2018, and when I talked to the people at the tollway about this, they tell me E470 still has $1.3 billion in bond debt, and while they're scheduled to be paid off in 2041, E470's Enabling Act also requires it to set up a perpetual maintenance fund to take care of the highway before it can be turned over to any local jurisdiction or to CDOT. This fund is required to be fulfilled by 2076. With that being said, tolls will remain on E470 for the foreseeable future. After the perpetual maintenance fund is created, it would be ultimately decided by a future E470 board if the tollway does become a freeway like Highway 36 did. Meanwhile, E470 is currently installing their next generation lane tolling system that's scheduled to be completed by the end of the year. I have much more info about E470 in the online version of the story, as well as links to the investor relations page if you care to read that, and to that toll revenue report. You can keep up with the bond repayment schedule with that. Wow. It's right now on denver7.com, left side menu to Denver 7 traffic.
Well, by the time it's paid off, there's going to be 10 more that have popped up around the city anyway.
But,
there's always going to be
Won't we have flying cars by then, though?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
sure.
2076.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Local libraries are kicking off summer reading programs. My kids have both joined our own Douglas County Library District program, and Aurora Public Library's Summer of Imagination runs through the end of July. They have programs for every age, even adults.
This year's theme is shared stories, which is really exciting. I think it gives us an opportunity to explore a lot of different types of things, from cultures to foods to music, all kinds of different things that we have in common.
And you can get prizes. In Aurora, everyone who signs up for the summer reading program gets a free book. Just check with your own local library for the prizes they're offering.
Well, from the mountain slopes to the sandy beach, the Nuggets are in Miami. How they're hoping to reset ahead of Game 3.
And it's the place where everybody knows your name, but what was really in those beer mugs? The secrets behind the cheers from the cast as they reunited for a 30th anniversary. Welcome back, 6:43 right now, and as we take a look at some of your international headlines, thousands of homes are currently at risk in Ukraine after a dam and power plant were destroyed earlier this morning. Russia controls this portion of Ukraine, but Russia is denying blowing up the dam and claims it collapsed due to damage. Prince Harry is in court this morning. He'll testify against the owners of the Daily Mirror. He accuses them of phone hacking and other unlawful tactics to get information on him throughout his life. The publisher is disputing those claims. Interestingly, Prince Harry is the first senior British royal official since the 19th century to testify in a courtroom. King Edward VII appeared as a witness in a trial over a gambling scandal in 1891. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is in France this morning commemorating the 79th anniversary of D-Day. The largest naval, air, and land operation in history led to the liberation of France and Western Europe from Nazi control. There will be a ceremony at the cemetery overlooking Omaha Beach, where over 9,000 American soldiers are buried. There will also be an international ceremony at the British Normandy Memorial.
The union representing TV and film actors this time voted to authorize a strike against major studios if a new contract isn't reached by June 30th. Over 97% of members of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, voted in favor of the strike. If the actors do walk, they would join more than 11,000 members of the Writers Guild of America already on the picket line. Writers have been on strike for 5 weeks now without any new negotiations for a deal.
Well, long before there was streaming or artificial intelligence or anything that these actors and writers are complaining about, there was the sitcom Cheers, and everyone watched it, right?
Yes.
I mean, back then. So now we're learning some new behind-the-scenes stories from members of the cast. Ted Danson, George Wendt, John Ratzenberger, they all appeared at the ATX TV Festival. So some of what we learned here, when Woody Harrelson joined the series, the older actors challenged him to a series of contests. And Harrelson beat them in basketball, arm wrestling, even chess.
Woody, the character.
He was kind of dumb, yeah.
Yeah, he was not a smart man, yeah.
So that was funny. Wentz and Ratzenberger, of course, who played Norman Cliff, said that they were in charge of getting the late Kirstie Alley a welcome present when she joined the show. They drove around LA and ended up buying her a shotgun.
What?
Yeah, and they said that, on the card, you're going to have to shoot your way out.
All right.
As for the beer that they all had on set there, those were filled with non-alcoholic beer, the mugs. The crew would pour it out of cans early so it was warm, and then to top it all off, the beer looked flat after sitting around all day, so production would add a pinch of salt to the glasses to make it look fresh.
Bubbly, yes.
By the way, we had told you the bar from Cheers was up for auction, and it just sold over the weekend for $675,000.
Yeah, the second highest item at that same auction was the original Batman and Robin costumes, the Adam West Burt Ward, which went for $615,000. Yeah. Yes, pow, wham.
Boom. I would love to throw some of our behind-the-scenes stories out there.
Oh, would you?
No, we'd all get in trouble.
No, you probably shouldn't.
We'd all find new jobs tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a pretty